a day of national pride for India as billions watched the second Indian to enter space. 41 years ago, it was Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma. Today, Group Captain Shubanshu Shukla made history as the pilot of the 4-member crew in the Axiom 4 mission, with millions of Indians joining his parents in emotional prayers as the SpaceX Falcon 6 rocket lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center. It was a sight to watch as it cut through the dark skies into the space towards the SpaceX-managed International Space Station in a low Earth orbit. Lots of exclusive details up ahead, including what's Shubanshu Shukla getting to eat in space. But first, those stunning images, and then my colleague Pallav Bagla lays out for us the next few hours of the journey.
3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff.
Takes flight. Godspeed AX4.
सबको खुशी है सबको खुशी है
What a ride. 40 साल बाद हम वापस अंतरिक्ष में पहुंच गए हैं और कमाल की राइड थी। ये मेरी इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन तक की जर्नी की शुरुआत नहीं है, ये भारत की ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत है। आइए हम सब मिलकर भारत की ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम की जर्नी की शुरुआत करें। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
After a very successful liftoff from the Kennedy Space Center from Pad 39A, Group Captain Shubanshu Shukla was in space within 8 minutes. Currently, he and 3 other crew members are orbiting the Earth at about 400 kilometers above the Earth, going around at a velocity of about 28,000 kilometers per hour. First things they did was that they took off their space suits, the ones which we saw, the white suits and the helmet, and they went into using comfortable clothes, and then they had their first meal in space. The space station and his biorhythm has been made attuned with London time. So I presume Group Captain Shukla had his first lunch in space. Eating food in space is not easy. It is an experience, and he is a first-time flyer in space. He must have experienced some difficulty. Now, after having had lunch, he would have his first sleep in space. So 8 hours of rest for Group Captain Shubanshu Shukla, his first nap or sleep in space. When he gets up, the first morning in space, so to say, would begin, and then would begin that process of docking with the International Space Station. It's a complicated process, and many people ask, the space station is only 400 kilometers above Earth, why does it take 28 hours? It's complicated orbital dynamics. The space station was flying overhead over Cape Canaveral, Florida, Kennedy Space Center when the liftoff happened, and finally they have to go and dock with the same space station in a phased manner. This is called phasing. They will have gone around the Earth many times, and finally they will rendezvous with the International Space Station, and the docking will happen with the Harmony module of the space station. Docking will take over 2 hours, and the pressure has to be equalized between the space station and the crew module. Not an easy job, and only once all the green signal and the clear is given that everything is safe, will the 4 crew from the Crew Dragon go in floating into the International Space Station. Currently, the commander of the space station is a Japanese astronaut. He will greet them, and there would be a small ceremony welcoming the Axiom 4 crew. Sometimes the Axiom mission I called Mission Akash Ganga. They would be welcomed to the International Space Station, and then Group Captain Shukla will get on to his 14-day mission at the International Space Station. So the first meal in space, the first sleep in space, and the first docking in space for Group Captain Shubanshu Shukla. Important milestones in his big jump or leap in space. India's cosmic leap taking shape. In New Delhi, Pallav Bagla for NDTV.
Well, but what's Group Captain Shubanshu Shukla going to eat in space? My colleague Deepak Bupanda finds out that it could be amras and moong dal ka halwa that's in store for the Group Captain for his meal in space. Listen in to Dr. R. Kumar, who's the center head for DRDO's DIBT wing, which has curated and prepared the space meal.
We have Mr. Dr. R. Kumar. He's from the DIBT. He's the center head from Mysuru joining us. Sir, thank you for speaking to NDTV. I would want to start off by asking, what's the special dishes that you've prepared really for, Group Captain Shubanshu Shukla? Because he's also going to be sharing this with his other astronauts is what I'm told.
Yeah. Axiom mission is a landmark spaceflight mission organized by NASA in association with ISRO in collaboration with NASA for the 14 days mission. In this regard, DRDO, we have provided 3 desi foods, namely ready to drink mango nectar, ready to eat mango moong dal halwa and carrot halwa, which are specially designed to meet the space food challenges. Critically, these foods without any preservatives, commercially sterile, and can be stored for more than 12 months under the room temperature conditions. So these 3 products Shubanshu Shukla is carrying to exchange between the fellow astronauts.
Very interesting that you say, halwa, amras. Now, all of this, was this something that was chosen by ISRO, or was it chosen by the other astronauts or by Mr. Shukla himself? Tell us about how the selection process happened for these 3, savories to be a part of his travel.
See, these products are part of our proposed Gaganyaan missions. So, based on the list of products we provided to ISRO, they have selected these 3 products, and then we worked on making all the requirements following the NASA protocols.
Interesting. Dr. Kumar, tell us, now the viewers would want to know, how is this food packaged? I'm sure like I said earlier, normal food cannot be taken to space. Tell us about how this food will look like, or probably, how it tastes, or how it feels, how is it packaged? How is it possible that they're able to eat this in space?
See, these products are packed in the thermally processed, packed in the multi-layer packaging material, and it is having all the packaging integrity test, and it provides the adequate texture, and it can be consumed directly from the package itself. And this mango nectar can be consumed directly from the package material itself. So there is no need of any extra preparation. They can consume, and it is having, each pouch is having a content of 100 gram only. So it can be consumed as such from the packets.
I wonder how moong dal, halwa and amras will taste in space, but I guess only Group Captain Shukla would know that. The science geeks of Bengaluru and Chennai joined thousands as they watched the rocket pierce through the skies. How long will we have to wait for a third Indian in space? Will it be one of them who were looking on? Have this report.
Another feather in the hat for India. ISRO, of course, has been given some vital roles as well. All of you all standing in the corner, how was it? Tell us, ISRO as well has a lot to do, and I'm sure you have, your institute has worked closely with ISRO in other missions too. So today, what's your feeling?
Yeah, it was a breathtaking moment at that last T-minus 10 seconds. It was always the same moment for every launch, but this was always special because our Indian guy has come into an international mission again and going forward with all the space tech that he has got, and then he's taking the space exploration to the next step on an international level right now.
And tomorrow when the docking happens, that's an anticipated moment, and of course till he returns, everyone's going to be waiting with bated breath, because last time there was a little bit of a glitch which delayed the return of Sunita Williams and the other astronauts. Does this all make you all nervous?
Yeah, it always makes me nervous when we're watching a launch live, because there are a lot of things happening and there's always a chance of something going wrong. So we're all going to be waiting for that moment with bated breath.
So are you all waiting for docking to happen tomorrow?
Definitely, we'll be looking forward to that. We'll all be watching it here again tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Well, the enthusiasm is definitely there. They're all saying, of course, the variables involved make them nervous, but they're all waiting for the docking to be a successful one.
Shubanshu Shukla is all set to lift off. What kind of excitement among you who pursue research in this field?
Yeah, Axiom 4 mission is a historic milestone for India as well, as it marks the first Indian, Shubanshu Shukla, going to visit the International Space Station. And he's the second Indian to visit the space after Rakesh Sharma, commander. Yeah, which is after 41 years. Yeah, it's a great source of inspiration for students like us.
What would this mean for India in terms of what would we learn, gain?
This mission gives India direct experience in human spaceflight through the participation of Shubanshu Shukla. This gives real-world insights into crew operations, safety protocols, and scientific experiments in microgravity, all of which are invaluable in planning and execution of Gaganyaan mission.
Shukla will conduct experiments in production, food production in microgravity, health monitoring, and materials testing. How important are these?
Yeah, these are very important experiments, and this is going to be a first time that India is going to have their own set of data for microgravity experiments. So as a researcher, it's a very proud moment for all of us.
Well, so what does this moment mean for India's next generation? Joining me this evening, two veteran scientists, Dr. B.R. Guruprasad, Director of the Jawaharlal Nehru Planetarium in Bengaluru, formerly with ISRO, and Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam, Director of the Indian Institute of Astrophysics in Bengaluru. Dr. Guruprasad, you must remember Rakesh Sharma moment. Tell us, what's the big difference between now and then? Obviously, no television screens then, no live telecast then. How do you juxtapose this and then?
Yeah, it's an exciting moment indeed, Namaskar. The Rakesh Sharma's launch was telecast live, actually, but it was a black and white TV era. I still remember April 3rd, 1984. I saw the launch live from Baikonur Cosmodrome. Doordarshan, at that time only one channel was there. They telecast it. I still remember to have seen Rakesh Sharma's launch and enjoyed in the black and white TV. Color TV was not there in Bangalore at that time. But now you see how much has changed. In fact, everything is being streamed. We could able to see from nearly 1.5 hours from before the liftoff. I mean, T-minus 1.5 hours from that, 90 minutes from that time, we could able to monitor properly what was going on. It is an exciting moment. So much has changed in terms of technology. And satellites are playing a very important role. You should know this, in fact. And we are very proud of it. And so much has changed as far as India is concerned in the domain of space. When Rakesh Sharma went, no doubt about it, India was still in its infancy. I would not say not infancy, actually in its childhood as far as its space program was concerned. Now you see how much of achievement has occurred as far as the Indian space program is concerned. And Gaganyaan, that is the human space flight program of India, has added a new dimension. So in terms of technology, in terms of the access to information, and in terms of inspiring the students, and in terms of, I would say, accessibility of space, everything, there has been a sea change, and there is a significant development and a revolutionary development in this domain. I feel this is what, even after 41 years, I still remember Rakesh Sharma's launch and today's launch. Let me tell you, spaceflight is so exciting. I enjoyed Rakesh Sharma's flight and have been fortunate to see more than 50 launches from Sriharikota, and today it was as exciting as it was. And I'm sure all the 140 crore Indians as well as the Indian diaspora all over the world, they have enjoyed it. It's a matter of pride. And the wait was worth today.
Right, every launch is a story in itself, isn't it, sir? Dr. Annapurni, what are your thoughts from black and white television days to color TV days? What, as Dr. Guruprasad points out, infancy days of Indian Space Organization. We're possibly in our robust youth right now. How do you see this as a scientist? I mean, narrate the tale for us more from an emotional point of view of a scientist, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's obviously a milestone moment. And how I found it different was that, previously you could see a camera put at a distance and you can actually see it launch and we don't know actually what's going on inside, and then keep your fingers crossed to see that, okay, it reaches and then some information comes. But today you could actually see the cameras from various angles. And in a few minutes, I think you could actually see the crew inside, and then them actually operating it. So that was something, and the way it is communicated and explained each and every step, I think the people are looking forward to understand what's going on. And the way it was communicated is excellent. And for us, we have actually put two instruments in space. One is completing 10 years and the other is at Aditya L1, which is at the, very far away. So 1.5 million kilometers away. So whenever these instruments are being launched itself, we your heart goes pounding and to make sure that everything goes well and then it works. But now you have actually people on board and the safety of the people and making sure that, everything goes well. And it is maybe 10 to 100 times safety and, precautions to be taken. So I think the journey which has gone through people to actually reach there and also operate it and go and come back, it's going to be a huge learning experience. And as you can also see that how many sectors will open up to actually make use of such flights and the Gaganyaan coming up. So it's a really momentous occasion, and it's really a nice time to be living in because huge opportunities coming up and also exciting times.
Right, exciting times, you say. I just want to take both of you back in memory lane. Where were you and what were you doing when you watched the Rakesh Sharma moment? Dr. Annapurni first.
Yeah, I don't think it was just early times of television, and I grew up in a small town, so I'm not even sure we had the television and then. So it was only from newspapers and listening to commentary from radio. So it's like listening very closely to the radio. I don't think, it wasn't there in the town where I grew up. Yes.
Dr. Guru Prasad?
Yeah, in fact, I had joined ISRO by that time, a few months back. I had joined in 1983 end. So 1984 was the April 3rd was the launch of Rakesh Sharma in a Soyuz rocket on board a Soyuz spacecraft called Soyuz T11. I vividly remember this. And it was a very, very exciting thing. At that time, still in ISRO, we had only experimental satellites like Aryabhata, Bhaskara, Apple and Rohini. Okay, at that time. There was no concept of operational satellites. Operational satellites means from a layman's point of view, I would say, it is a satellite that can work for years together without any interruption. Now you see about 50 satellites are working for India. Okay, they contribute a lot to our economy, to our overall security. Okay, so satellites are an integral part of our economic infrastructure. So all these things make us very, very happy and satisfied, I would say.
No, I just wanted to quickly ask you, it took us 41 years to have the second Indian in space. What's your prediction? How long is it going to take for us to have the third Indian in space? First to you, Dr. Guru Prasad. Just a quick guess. Dr. Annapurni next.
You see, the thing is the third Indian in the sense, obviously 4 people have already been selected for Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan is proceeding quite a fast pace, but taking safety into account. ISRO is very cautious about it. I'm an optimist. Maybe as an experienced space watcher and a person who has worked in the domain of space and astronomy, I would say probably in the next 2 years or so, roughly,
probably
a third Indian astronaut will be going to space. Yes.
All right, Dr. Annapurni, quick last word from you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think as per the roadmap we have, it is the next Gaganyaan mission and our own people going up there. As I mentioned already, the safety and we understand when we have made the instrument, so we understand how much checks and precautions we need to take for everything. But here it is quite a bit, is a totally different ball game. So one has to make sure that. I'm not talking about the exact time scale. We have to meet it, but safety it comes first. So I think the next few years we'll be seeing it. Yeah.
Absolutely. The defining moment was Captain Shukla's parents praying as the flight took off, at least to my eyes. But thanks very much to both of you for joining us here, because all of you deserve a salute, because all of you have contributed to the Indian space story. Thanks very much for joining us.